John is the CTO of Lenovo. We're going to hear from him in a moment. So John, we'll have you sit down here. I'd also like to have Melissa come up on stage. So Melissa is a partner with E&Y. Melissa is going to help us with problem solving over the next couple of days. And then finally, I'd like to invite up Steve Farber, best-selling author, who's going to help us with leadership over the next couple of days. And I'm actually going to grab that chair here and bring it over here. Okay, how you guys doing? Good?
Great. Good.
Yeah? Well, we're excited to have all of you, and of course, you were selected to be at QBITS, so congratulations. We're really excited to have you talk on your specific areas. And I guess the reason why we want to do this is give you a sense of what's coming in the next couple of days. So firstly, why don't we get a quick introduction, and then we'll get into a couple of questions. So, John?
Morning, everyone. As Steve mentioned, John Inciso. I'm the field CTO for North America, which means if you don't know what a field CTO is, it's human duct tape. So my job is to be across the continent, talking with customers, architecting, strategizing, helping them build innovation. And that's really where my talk is going to be about, innovation.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Big round of applause for John. Okay, Melissa.
Great. Hi, and thank you so much for having me. My name is Melissa Tamblin. I'm a partner at EY in our Microsoft practice. I have done a number of things over the years and have been one of you, have been a CIO, have faced these challenges and would have died to come to an event like this. I will say nobody ever called me out in a room and had applause launched for me, so lucky Jamie. But I am very keen to talk to you about problem solving later this afternoon.
Awesome. Thank you, Melissa. Steve.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Farber. I'm the founder of the Extreme Leadership Institute. I've been in the field of leadership development now for 35 years, but who's counting? And I've had the opportunity to work with just about every kind of company you can think of and virtually every kind of industry on the subject of leadership. So I've been involved in this for a very long time, written 5 books on the subject, continue to learn from the people that I work with. I don't have it all figured out, but I'm happy to contribute.
Awesome. Well, we're very excited to have all of you here with us today. And when the marketing team was doing the design of the event, all of the sessions that you're going to go through over the next few days are built along these 3 learning tracks. So why don't we start out with innovation, John? We're going to hear from you in a moment, but why is innovation, and I talked a bit about it in my talk, but why is that becoming such an important skill for IT leaders today?
I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing why innovation is important is, frankly, as Steve mentioned, right? If you're not asking why, if you're not actually looking at how can you grow the business, your competitors are going to grow past you. And innovation is more than just, let me bring in new technology. Innovation is really about reimagining from the ground up, right? Imagine if you were, let's just take even further back from Netflix. Imagine if you were making buggy whips 100 years ago, and you were trying to build a better buggy whip. That would be really fabulous, except somebody came out with bicycles, and then they came out with cars, and then they came out, and by that point, everything's passed you by. So it's thinking beyond what you do today, and it's envisioning what the future looks like for tomorrow. That is truly innovation. That's kind of where I'm going to go with, is kind of talk about how to take your mind out of where you are today and shoot for the stars.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, even with our team and our technical team, we love talking about the technology.
Yes.
And you know, that gets us excited, right?
Yes.
But going beyond that is important now.
Yeah, as I tell folks all the time, I make sexy plumbing, right? I do. I make widgets. The reality is innovation is not in the widget. Innovation is how you apply that to solve a business problem. And that's truly the way to think about innovation. It's not, what am I doing with the thing? It's, why am I doing it with that? Why am I doing that thing in the first place? That's where innovation starts.
Awesome. So Melissa, we, in preparing for this event, we were thinking of problem solving, critical thinking. Who's best in class of that? And we thought of E&Y. That's what you guys do. So when you guys work with clients, maybe talk a little bit about what you're seeing. Why is the skill of problem solving becoming so important for IT teams?
Well, thank you for thinking of E&Y in that regard. I would say that in 2025, the problems and challenges that we face are unprecedented. They're next level, and CIOs and IT leaders are being called upon to address these problems as never before. Previously, they may not even have been at the table. Now they are front and center. And so we work with our clients to help to drive out clarity from complexity, where we have this enormous amorphous set of challenges. We can work to unpack and break that down in a way that that really puts humans at the center, because, as you said, it's just a thing until the thing has the human imagination that unleashes it, and then go through a series of steps to get to the other side. And if you join me this afternoon, I will tell you all about that, and look forward to sharing that with you.
I know, Melissa, in our own company, we've in the last year, we've deployed Lean Six Sigma as a problem-solving tool. And I'm actually blown away at how excited the team is about Lean Six Sigma. And it's really hit on target in terms of how they want to advance the company with a methodology that supports the thinking. So I think I'm really excited for our session this afternoon. So Steve, when we got our client survey back, number 4 was leadership, but littered throughout the comments was upgrading leadership, getting my leaders to achieve their full potential. How can leaders achieve their full potential?
Well, I think first of all we have to talk about this label leadership, because it's a word that we throw around a lot without giving a lot of significant thought to what it really means. And we slap that label on ourselves, we slap it on other people, we make a couple of assumptions along with that. And let's just start with that assumption. And I'm willing to be wrong about this, but I don't think I am. You tell me if I am. Leadership fundamentally has nothing to do with your position or title, right? And I'll try to be polite about this. I've met plenty of people over the years who sit very prominently on their company's organizational chart, have very lofty and impressive sounding titles, yet still have, this is the polite part, a bit of work to do as far as their leadership goes. Now, the flip side of that is even more important. I can't tell you how many people I've met who have no positional authority whatsoever. Nobody reports to them. They're on the front line, they're doing the work, and they're great leaders by virtue of who they are, what they do, how they work, how they live their lives, and their ability to influence people around them to change the nature of things for the better. So, the first thing we have to do, I think, is look at ourselves, regardless of position or title, and recognize that we all have an opportunity to step into that role in a real and significant way. So when you think about innovation, asking the why question, the ability to solve problems, that critical thinking, and I think we've got to back it up one more step, and this is what we'll be focusing on when we spend time together, is there's another level to it which is right in there, right? So there's the head, there's also the heart. And if you look at what, at its essence, really separates the great leaders from leaders in position or title alone, it's their ability to create an experience that people love. Love is the right word. And therefore, we've got to ask ourselves some pretty important questions about our own connection of our heart to our work. Do I love this work? And if so, how can I use that to really change the world for the better?
Awesome. We'll look forward to that tomorrow morning.
Right.
So as we wrap up the panel today, maybe just any final comments? We didn't want to obviously get into it too deep because everybody's looking forward to each of your respective presentations, but any final thoughts on what you've heard from your colleagues here?
No, actually, it's amazing when you think about how everything ties together, right? First, you have to ask why. Then you have to figure out how to solve the problem that you've just addressed, and then you have to get the organization there. right? And I think that the way you guys have put this together is great because it ties, all three of these tie together how you can take this home and make a change.
Awesome. Melissa?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as much as we've called them out as distinct elements, they really are very blended. And I think the theme that is going to emerge, and I think it's already started to emerge, and you called it right out, is that this is a human activity, and the fact that you are all taking time for your own learning and development, while yes, you'll hear about all the cool technology and that's fun, you're going to have your brain sparked up in a way to think about how you can play a role leading, innovating, and solving for complexity in your organizations. And I think that that's kind of exciting, not to mention the super cool look and feel of the whole thing.
Awesome. Steve, you've got the final word here.
You guys have done a phenomenal job taking the feedback from your community and creating this multi-track experience. I'll just finish with what I think is the obvious. It's a bit of a cliche, you'll get out of it what you put into it. There's a lot to be drawn from here, so I really encourage you to fully immerse yourself in it and have some great conversations with each other along the way.
Awesome. Well, thank you to all of you for investing your time in QBITS 2025. I know our audience appreciates it, and we'll look forward to the session. So with that, let's give our speakers a big round of applause, please. Thank you.